Hey, welcome to Mike's Trains, and thanks for joining me for another video. This video, all I'm going to do is we're going to take a quick walk through the layout. I'm not doing anything today. What's going to happen, I think, is I still have to finish detailing this whole thing, and it's not video worthy, I don't think, to want to sit down and video all the final little details that are going to go on here, such as adding the figures. I have more grass to put in this area up here beside the building, maybe some trees here or there. You know, I want to finish up that white spot in the back. This is all stuff that's going to take me a while. With the time that I have and what needs to get done, I'm going to do all of this off camera, and I don't have anything planned to do in the immediate future right now. But I did want to give you a quick walkthrough of my layout so that you get a feel as to what I got going on here. Now, I will say my layout is not very big. This room is 9 by 16. It's not very large at all, 9 feet by 16 feet. So it'll give you sort of an idea of how big and how much I have going on. My track layout is basically a giant oval, and you know, all of that is what I have. Now we can start over here. This is a highway I built, a couple years back, and in that highway I have a backdrop up there, which is probably going to be changed out. That backdrop, there's a mirror at the end of the highway, so when you look down the road, the highway just continues into the backdrop. And I think it looks pretty good, and I'm going to keep it as it is. And I would have liked to have run trains in this video, but I can't do that either. And let's take a look over here, and you will see why. That's my light pole. But all of this stuff is all on top of my tracks. This is the stuff that you don't see when I'm filming down here. So all of this has to get cleaned up. The tracks need to get cleaned. So there's quite a bit to do just to get the trains running. So I'm not going to be able to do that in the near future. It's going to be a few weeks. Because I want to finish all my details, and then I can clean up everything all at one time, and I can start running trains again. But this is the shopping mall that we built, and I don't know if I ever showed you, but on the side of the sign right here, I added the electrical box with the power cable that runs down it. I thought that was a nice little extra added detail right there. And then I put pads to look like concrete pads that are in there. But I still need to put a little bit more grass around that. Maybe some shrubbery, I don't know. But there's something's going to go there. And then as for the cars, somebody had commented that, yeah, I know, my cars are all the same. I bought a bag. I bought them on Amazon. I got 100 cars for like, I don't know, $10 or something. And scale cars. But the problem is they are all the same. But that being said, it's not as big a problem to find modern cars as you would think it is. I buy mine from Shapeways, and I'll show you my train station in a few minutes. There's a lot of later model cars that are on there that came from Shapeways. They're all 3D printed. So if you go to Shapeways and search their marketplace for 1/160th vehicles, you'll get, I believe my last look the other day was 120 pages of just all vehicles, and they go from the 30s and 40s all the way up to present day. So there's a lot of stuff to be had, but you know, you gotta do the search and find them. I'm not gonna put a link. That you'll figure it out. It's not that hard. So anyway, so from the shopping mall here, let me turn the camera. You know, of course, you've seen all this. This is just the last series that got built. My picnic tables are still a mess. And also from the last video, we move on over into this bridge scene, which has the waterfall and all the people in it. And let me move the camera down and we'll go on to the next connecting point to this scene here. Okay, actually I just moved the camera over just a little bit. I want you to see the back side. So if you look over this way, and you see there's more stuff because that's where I put all my things when I'm working, but that right there is the back side of my roundhouse. Okay, with the backdrops, and that again was another series, and you can see all my stuff is everywhere, and this all needs to get cleaned up. And then coming over here is the back side of my Sons of Anarchy scene right here. So let me pull the camera onto the other side and we can look at all these things from the front. Okay, so this is the Sons of Anarchy scene right here. This is all scratch built buildings. That's their garage, and then you can see I dug out the loading dock, and then there's the other building that goes with it. And if you watch Sons of Anarchy, all that stuff is in there. You can find it. But again, huge mess, lot to deal with, and no time to clean it. And then in the back over there, you can kind of see the side of the roundhouse. See, we've only come back just a few inches from the bridge scene. Okay, so let me pull the camera around the front side and we can take a look at all that stuff from the other side. Alright, so this is the other side, the back side of the Sons of Anarchy, and then we come into the front side of the roundhouse with the turntable, and the turntable is working. You know, like I said, there was a series on that you can find. I still have a lot of detail to put into here. I have lights that are going to go around the turntable. The roundhouse is lit, but there's a lot of detail that still needs to be put in. We have a parking lot. I need to stripe that out, you know. And then we move over here. This is more of the train yard for the passenger station. That fueling station is scratch built also. The switching tower, I had that, so I just stuck it in there. I thought it would look good, and that's lit as well. And then we come down here. This is the front edge of my layout. And then all of this stuff you've all seen. If you've been watching my series, you've seen all of these things. This one is pretty much done being detailed. All of those trucks and vehicles in this scene here, those are all from Shapeways. So yeah, so more modern vehicles can be had. That's a Dodge pickup, yellow one there. And of course the backhoe, and that goes down underneath the train station. And then let's see if I can get you a little closer. I have the platforms up here, and those are all done, everything in there, but you can see I still have track that needs to be ballasted. Lots of track that needs to be ballasted, that whole area. I haven't gotten to any of it because I've been running from project to project. And then we have the scene up in the back that runs along the top of the train station. That area back there is pretty much finished. But again, you know, I need time to get into these things and really finish them up. As I said, this one is pretty much done. And then we get up to the train station, and that's right here. And you can see there are some more different types of modern vehicles. They're in there. There's a Ford Bronco right there. There's a Sears repair van right here that's another Shapeways model. There's a minivan in there somewhere. Oh, right here in the front. I just want to repaint it and make it look a little bit better. But that's all modern time vehicles mixed in with the crappy ones that come from, you know, from Amazon, and it looks pretty good when you add those all in. Now the bus, I will say in there, that's one of those 50s buses that I repainted, and I think it looks a little more presentable in this situation as opposed to what it looked like before. So I'll end up keeping that, but there are more modern buses. I will be having For the Higbee store on the other side, I'm going to be getting the GM fishbowl buses from the 80s. I'm going to get a couple of those to fit in there. Now this scene here is, for the most part, is done up here, but again, below is all still needs to be filled in and finished. So let's move down a little bit further. If I turn the camera this way, you can see my lights are dropping off, and that all needs to be fixed. And there's a lot of empty space over there. Alright, so that's the back of the train station. And you can see I've ballasted a lot of stuff. I still need to add, we need to put some grass in here, some tall weed and all that kind of stuff over on this side. But you can see I haven't ballasted any of this, and it's still full of all of my stuff. So it's going to be a little while yet before this is ready to be done. I still have bare foam showing up over there that needs to be dealt with. Under here, there's a building. This is going to be a building for that goes with the train station for like a shipping receiving type place, and that has a track that runs right through the train station. And then we'll come back this way. Now here I have, you can see right there, that's a mirror, and it's blue because it has a coating on it, and I don't want the mirror to get messed up from doing scenery stuff, so I leave the coating on until all my scenery is done, and then I'll come back and I'll peel off the coating and we're good to go. But all of this front work here, it all needs to be done. There's a barn that's going to go in here, like right here. And I don't know if I showed it, but I have a barn, and it's from the front two sides, it's made one way. And then when you flip it over and look at the back two sides, the opposite opposing two sides, it's a whole different barn. And that's done so that I can stick it here. And then when you look down in the mirror, you see another barn in the distance, and it's not the same as the one you see in the mirror. Okay? So that's what's going to go in there. And then we come over this way a little bit more, and you can see I have a lot more track work. And then eventually, I would like to, I don't know when, but I would like to expand this track. On the other side of this wall is my daughter's bedroom. And she, at some point, will be moving out. And I don't know when, but it could be, 10 years from now. It could be next year. I don't know. But at some point, the plan is to blow out this wall here, this whole wall from this shelf up and take it out, and then run a hole through here instead of having a mirror. And then this will go right through the wall and into the other room. So that's the idea. But whether that's going to be a reality or not remains to be seen. And then we can come down this way. These are some buildings that I didn't use in the city rebuild. I didn't need them in there, so I have standbys for more stuff to build if I need them. Let's move this out of the way. And then we come back over here. Now over there I have built a church. I don't know why I put it in there, I just did. I felt that, maybe that's something I'd want to have. But you can see everything's filthy dirty. None of it really looks good. It did at one time. I have a farm, lots of cows and whatnot. This end is pretty much the way that I originally built the whole layout. And this part's here I think is going to stay the same. I built the fence down here that goes all the way around. And moving down along, you can see the tracks are still going. And then I have a road that I put right here that comes off the layout because I figured this road was too straight to have nothing on it. And so I added that in there. And again, stop signs are missing, lines, things like that still need to be done. I have some wooden kit houses. And then we come down here, and then, let's see, I have a bridge right there of road that goes over a river that's right there. And right on the side there, right beside that, right after the bridge, there's a small gas station. Let me see if I can get the camera moved down that way and we'll start looking over there. Alright, so there's the bridge right there that we have. You saw it from the other side, and yes, you can see my shadows moving here because we're in some kind of tight quarters. There's the gas station. Now that's not lit as well as I would like it to be. It is lit, but not where I'd like it to be, so that's got to get changed. The rest of the stuff over here I think I'm okay with. More houses. And yeah, more houses. Very residential type area. And then we come down to here. Now you can see a road that goes back in right there. And that road crosses over the tracks and it goes down into the scenery in the back. But here's what I want to do. This is probably going to lead into the next project, right? So you can see the road that goes down in the back. It goes right here and it goes right around the corner right here and into the trees, and then in the trees back there, right back over here, you can't really see it, but there is a mirror there and it continues the road right through. But the thing I'm looking at changing and doing for my next project is this right here in the back. It's a lumber mill. And while I think it looks fine up there, it's missing a key component that should be there, and there should be a log pond off on the side. It should be somewheres up in this neighborhood right here, and these tracks right here should be way on the other side over here somewhere, okay, because that's where the train would come in and load them off. This is where the sawmill receives their lumber from. All right, so that's all wrong in my mind. I don't see it being any other way. So I'd like to blow all that out of there and kind of start over with something new. And I got a decent amount of space. So I don't really know what I'm going to put in there. I suppose, you know, maybe if anybody's got any ideas of what would fit in a big space like that, maybe we'll look at different things. But that's gonna change, and I do really feel that's gonna be a next project as to what we're gonna do up in there. Okay, and then down here I have a general store. Okay, right there on the corner, and again, trees in the road and all things need to get fixed up. Let me back the camera up and then we'll take a look at the next spot. Okay, so I backed up the camera a little bit and you can still see the lumber mill right down in the front here. This thing right here, this used to be a building that I stole, and I was going to use it for something else, and it was actually an old schoolhouse that I repurposed into something else. So I haven't replaced it with anything. That's going to get replaced with something new. And you can see the old lighting that I used to do. Those are the old incandescent lights, the peel and stick type. I don't use those anymore because I find LEDs are far more versatile and much better to use. So that again is going to go away, and we're going to start over with something new. Now up on the top up here, you can see that's the backdrop that I painted. I'm sure some of you have seen him, old Bob Ross TV show. Well, this is his technique. I followed one of his things there, and I painted that whole upper backdrop. Now I may or may not keep that, I don't know. But the other thing that needs to change is you can see this track in the back right here, right along here. Well, that comes down a slope, and the slope right in this little section right here, right in this little section right here, is too much of a slope. The incline goes up too quick and my cars will decouple on it. Now I've raised up the track right here a little bit and it kind of fixed it, But I'd like to take the tracks right where they diverge, right there, and just gradually raise that incline up. And that way I can get a turnout in here that fits a little bit better to go into the industry, whatever it is going to go over there. Again, that's going to be another video project, and probably tied into the whole replacing of the lumber yard. And then you can see I have a road that comes in right here. This goes over here, and I have a small factory right here, and a river, the river scene from earlier, very dusty. You know, this all needs to be cleaned up. The river scene is actually pretty awesome. It came out really good. If you want to see pictures of it when it got finished, you can check my website, mikestrains.wordpress.com, and there are pictures of this whole river scene, as well as I did a whole series on how I made it. So anyway, moving up. So that track that we wanted to change up there that I was saying, you can see I put another town train station up there, right up on the hill, and he's right up there. And then we have a rock face, and that separates the two tracks, so I have an upper and a lower now. Let me move this over to the other side of this little peninsula here, and we'll take a look at it from that side. Okay, so over here we're on the other side of that little company there. That's going to be a furniture company, some kind of thing like that. I think it's going to be like a, I don't know, something like I had in my mind, like Hitchcock Furniture, small factory that makes nice furniture kind of a thing. And then this is the other side of the river. It's just really dirty, but trust me, when it's clean, if you go look on my website, you'll see the pictures. It looks awesome. It came out really good. And you can see how the tracks, how they split off, and you can see the hill right here. This hill, I need to take out some of that incline. I need to even it out. So between the flat part down here and this incline right here, I need to even that out, so that I can run the track in the back that goes into that business right there. I can run that a little bit better, and the turnout doesn't get wonky. It just it doesn't work right the way it is. So, and we'll follow this up, and then we come up to this train station right here. Now again, that's more stuff I painted into the backdrop. It's not photo, it's painted, and obviously I think it looks like it. And then we'll come this way a little more, and that's just the upper track. And then I put a tunnel portal right there, and then I have a tunnel that runs right down the rest of the other side of the incline. Let me back you up and we can see what's down in the front. Okay, so down in front, the river continues, and it comes down, and then right there I have a small camping scene. This is a Walther's thing, mom pa camping or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but you can see there's another broken tree that needs to be fixed. And then the tracks run right underneath my static grass applicator, and yes, I'm running DCC, but you can see the tunnel up on top right there, and that runs, and then there's a deer family sitting up on there, and then we're back around to the front end, and that's the whole mess that I showed you earlier. So I moved you over a little bit, and there's the control you saw earlier, and then there's the road that runs on the lower side with the river beside it, and then it's hard to see amongst all my garbage up in there, but yeah, it comes down. And then the river, you can see outlets right here. And it kind of lines up with the idea was that river is directly across from my drop bridge right there. So they were supposed to be, in my mind, they were connected. All right. And then we're back over, and then I built this highway, this dirt road that goes up into my mountain up there. Let me move you a little closer and we'll take a look. Okay, so here's the river right here where it outlets from that side over there. Now I have this also, a huge empty spot right here that I can fit something in, and I'd like to. I just don't know what yet. You can see I have a forest up a mountain there. And then there's a dirt road that goes up the mountain. And then that dirt road, if you stick your head up in there and look around and follow the road, that goes to yet another mirror. So that road continues on indefinitely into the forest that you can see up on the top. That forest, if you like the way that looks, I did a series for that as well. And then we're back over to the shopping mall. So, like I said, the layout's not that big. It really isn't. But I've got a lot going on in the layout. And the more I do of this, I've been doing this now for close to 10 years altogether. I messed around with it when I was a little kid. But about 10 years ago, my son and I, we started playing around with this. We started with a slot car track. And then moved over into this because I liked all the scenery stuff. That's the stuff that really gets me going. I really enjoyed doing all of that. So that's kind of where we went. And now my son, he's older now, and he doesn't really get involved. He doesn't live home anymore. He lives off with his wife and got his own family going on. So I'm left to this all by myself, which is fine. But again, it's a lot of stuff to do, and it keeps me very occupied. But all that being said, it's just what I wanted to get across. I guess the point I'm making is I want to finish all of this whole area here, including that backdrop up there. I want to finish that whole hillside in the back. And this whole scene, I want to finish detail all of it so that I can look at it and say, well, now it's complete. You know, all in all, you know, nothing is ever done, right? I mean, you always have things, you know, you build something and you look at it and you say, well, I think I can do that better, and you redo it. And that's the way it always works. Everything evolves in some way. But I'd like to get to a point where I say, okay, I'm done fiddling with it. And then if I come back in a month and say, well, I'd like to change this or that, that's fine. But I need to get to that point. So between this area here and my train station roundhouse area, all that lower part on the other side that I showed you, there's a lot to do. And I need time to do it before I move on to another project. All this stuff needs to be completed. I need to clean all of this up. I need to run trains through it. And when I do run trains, there will be a video for it. I will show it. And the other thing that's still not done over here that I'd like to do is I want to put working cross signals right here in this railroad crossing right there. I want to put working signals with flashing lights and bells and things. That will be coming. I don't know when, but that will be coming as well. So it's going to be, what I'm saying is this is going to be the last video for a few weeks, I think. I need to get all of this stuff done, and it's not worth filming it because it's nothing big enough to want to film. It's just little fiddly things that I want to get finished, and it all takes time. And with everything going on in my house, the holidays coming, everything going on, finding time to come down here is getting harder and harder. And I have to choose my times more carefully as time goes on. So I'm going to put down the camera for a little bit. I'm going to finish all these little fiddly bits. I will take pictures when it's done. So please, by all means, check my website. Be looking for pictures up there. If you want to know when I put them, subscribe to my website. You can do that and you'll get an email update anytime I upload pictures to there. And the website is mikestrains.wordpress.com. And just go there, subscribe to the channel, and you will get email notifications when I upload my pictures if you're interested in seeing all these things completed. If you have suggestions for the area in the back where the lumber mill was, by all means, comment. Let me know what you think. I got a decent amount of room. It's kind of an odd shaped. It's probably about, I want to say about 6 inches wide by about maybe 20 inches long. But I've been thinking I want to do like a partial industry back there, like maybe do like a scrapyard kind of a thing, and do this half of the scrapyard in full 3D back there, and then put the rest of it in a photo backdrop kind of a thing. I'm thinking it'll be something like that. I don't want to do like a farming type thing because it's up on a hill. It really doesn't make any sense to do that. So a lot of things running through my head. Maybe you guys got ideas that sound good to me. If it piques my interest enough, maybe we'll do it. So that's it. That's all I got for this week, guys. I wish it could be more. So anyway, everybody, I hope you all have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, or whatever it is you celebrate. And stay safe and happy modeling.